Ooh-wee. What's up, guys? Welcome back to the comic shop. It's BZ Comics bringing you something crazy. As you guys see, I finally finished up the Winter Soldier cosplay. As you guys know, I'm taking my time. I'm taking it step by step into making a full cosplay. This is going to be a first step. As you guys know, I did make Wolverine claws, so that was like a little gauntlet and arms. Gauntlet and fingers. So just kind of like working out the scaling of that. Now I went up to the full arm, and as you guys see, it was a little bit of a challenge, but it all worked out. So I'm going to show you guys exactly my process on how I got this done to make it a little bit easier for you. It's BZ Comics, let's get into it. And in this one, from Marvel's Infinity War, we're going to be making the Winter Soldier's Vibranium Arm. Now this is going to be a cool cosplay because you guys have been pushing me pretty hard to make some kind of cosplay armor, and this is going to be my first attempt at just doing that. I'm going to be showing you guys how to use some elastic strap to connect everything and make it one. As for the glove, I'm going to be showing you guys how to use that same elastic strap to connect the fingers. And I actually have a cool method for a hinge system for this glove as well. You guys are definitely going to like this one. So without further ado, let's get to it. There were a lot of pieces that went into this file, and honestly, sometimes that's what kind of scares me from making a full cosplay. It's because I only have like 3 printers. I don't have a full farm, so it takes a little bit of time and it stops me from my videos. But after I scaled these up, they were a bit bigger than my platform. I do use a K1 Max, which is a big surface, so you can tell that this was a pretty big arm. If you are wondering, the way that I scaled this to fit my arm is going to be in this video here at the top right. I did show you guys how to make this with a free app. You can scan your head, your arm, any body part that you want to actually scale for these 3D printed models. So after attempting the Wolverine claws, one thing that I did notice was that not only the forearm, but the hands and fingers are something that like you kind of can't really like scale out. It's kind of something that you kind of got to go through like as far as like trial and error in order to get like the exact scale. There's no like way to measure those out and put those into something, if you get what I'm saying. These are all steps that I'm taking along this journey of learning how to make a full 3D cosplay armor, and it's cool to take you guys along for this journey as well. Enough of me talking, let me show you guys the full time lapse of how this actually printed. Let's get to it. Okay, so now we're going to get into the first part of the assembly. We're going to start to solder each one of these pieces of the arm together. make sure everything is snug. Now, typically what I would do is I would solder the outside, then the inside. But with this one, you can already see there are a lot of graphic and detailed lines. So I don't think I'm gonna have to do too much to the outside, but I still wanna make sure that this is a pretty good bond. Again, if you're new to the channel, you can do this with glue, but where this is gonna be something that's moving a lot, this is something that I want secure. So soldering is what I use for most of my props. Let's get into it. All right, so I'm gonna do a little bit of the outside just because I don't want this to move a lot. So I'm just trying to center it as good as possible because you really only get one shot. Do not miss your chance to blow. All right. So it gets a little challenging to show you guys and do this at the same time, so just bear with me because I don't want to go too deep into the line. What I'm looking to do here is just get it so that it won't move. And then on the inside, I go a lot deeper with the bracing. But all I'm doing is just melting two seams together and basically making them one. Like I mentioned, you want to get the soldering iron a little cooler. So again, I'm trying not to get too crazy with the camera. I mean, at least with soldering and mess up. But I do want you guys to see this as well. Again, you can make some mistakes. You're still going to have to sand after this. The sanding never stops. All right, and just like that, the two have became one. See, is basically I'm just working the two sides together. So again, I'm not trying to burn everything, especially make this like a new challenge for me to sand and work down. But basically all you're doing is just taking the flat side of the soldering iron and just smoothly going over the two sides and just working them up and down on each other. But with the soldering iron from the inside, you can get a lot more tougher, so you can more so brace a prop. So with that, I get like a lot more temperature. I give a lot more temperature. So let's say if I was using 3 on my soldering iron, I might go to like 3.5, 4 on my soldering iron from there, and just kind of going like either an X pattern, or again, kind of going like a side-to-side motion, just making sure that the two sides melt and give like a more stronger bond. On the outside, I'm just trying to make sure there are no big gaps. There's nothing showing on the outside from there. But for the inside is really where I get the sticks. But as you can see, quicker than glue, this settles, and it's a lot more durable and it's a lot stronger. So now what I'm gonna have to do from here, there are still some more smaller pieces that go in between the arm and the forearm and the bicep. So I'm gonna have to sand those down, work those in, solder some more of those because some more of those still connect into the wrist. So I'm gonna show you guys how to do that. This is more like a puzzle, putting a puzzle together. So it's pretty fun to go through that with you guys. And then again, we're gonna put some elastic bands on this so that way it fits over my shoulder and can move. And if you're wondering, this is a lefty. This file is a lefty. That I printed at least. You can switch it and make it a righty. Look at that, that looks crazy. my biceps. But yeah, we're gonna get into finishing this up. And again, making this look like the real deal. As you can see already, just with those two pieces soldered together, it looks a lot better. Let's get to it. So you got the first finger done. Good thing about this hand is it comes with the hinge system, so you'll be able to like thread a little needle in there, and then it has like little small magnet ports on this side. I'm going to be able to make it snap closed. I'm going to pull in some of that industrial strength tape. So far I'm just trying to get everything settled together. I did check out the Wolverine video. That's going to be coming up soon, but I show you basically how I assemble those fingers together. It's basically the same way. And that one, the only difference is I didn't just use the Velcro tape. I used some elastic, more so elastic tape to get more buoyancy and movement. But with the spacing that I'm doing, that's, as you can see, I can bend my finger pretty good, so it's not stopping anything there. So it's the first finger. Too crazy. This strip I did cut out already, but basically what I'm doing is setting everything on my finger and just kind of like seeing the gap in the space that I'm gonna need, and then just working the tape in there. And I'm leaving like a long enough tail so that way everything still connects. So that way everything will still connect to this top piece. So once I move the rest of the tape, you'll see the finger will stick right in place. And this stuff is like super sticky, so. Trying to keep it as centered as possible too. Now once I get the first part settled, basically what I'm doing from there is kind of like seeing how much space I'm going to need and where the finger is going to actually line up. Hold it in place. So some of it's kind of just like eyeballing. That's not bad. I'm just trying to keep it as straight as possible too. That's the first two now. Let's check it out. It's coming together good. unfortunately things can fit in a lot better. And for now, it's looking good. This is crazy, dude. This is the first time I'm doing like armor within the Wolverine glove and this. So yeah, I'm super satisfied with what's coming out. You can see I'm gonna have to make sure that these are all like perfectly in place so that way it stays tight. That's freaking crazy, dude. I love the way this thing looks. That is crazy, dude. I don't know, I might want to do a full suit, guys. I got a couple different prints that are like kind of testing it out, going more so up like with sleeves and arms and stuff like that, but yo, I can't wait for this to be done. This is one of those things, it's like you want to just wear it through the house. Like, this thing looks cool, man. I guess I'm just gonna have to make sure that they all stay in place and keep them stuck together. We start putting the magnets together for this. Don't have to do too much sanding on this, so like I said, I'm just gonna mount them up and start to prime them down, because I can't wait to see this. So definitely, guys, make sure you leave a comment. Let me know what you guys honestly think about this full masterpiece. A lot of you guys as well watch the video, but you haven't hit the subscribe button. So make sure, if that subscribe button isn't hit, make sure you do smash it and hit the like button and leave a comment. Let me know what you think about this one, what some of your challenges or what some of your thoughts are on this build. if you're thinking about attempting it, and maybe what else you want to see me make coming up into the future. But this is definitely going to be a full cosplay that I'm going to make. I'm definitely going to add a face mask to this and definitely finish this up. I'm thinking of either doing Taskmasters or Captain America's shield to go with it as well. But this thing is going to look crazy with a full cosplay. Like I said, I'm kind of moving up into that, just taking step by step, because scaling different pieces to your body and actually attaching them through 3D printing, as you can imagine, is kind of a challenge. So I'm just taking you guys through the steps. If you've seen the last video that I posted, definitely check that out. The Wolverine claws, where I show you how to make a gauntlet and how to make gloves, connect fingers, kind of just like how I did in this video, but a little bit more in depth. As far as the completion of this arm, DO3D, as you guys notice, I did have to solder a couple of different pieces. I am glad that they did that, because upon the connection and upon printing, it would have been a little bit more challenging if they didn't connect those automatically. So I think that they cut those pieces off in the right places, so that way it's easier to print. Now, if you have a bigger printer, I know like the K2 Max or some of the Bamboo Lab printers are a lot bigger. I have the K1 Max, so I did have to make a slice in order to fit on that printer. But if you have something bigger, this should be something that you should be able to do on one shot. The hands and gloves, I just scaled up a little bit. I don't have the magnets in the front of the hand. That's one thing that I wish that they did, was made these magnets a little bit bigger. They were a little bit of a smaller size, so that's a little bit of dilemma there. As you guys seen, I did use like a little needle to go into the gloves and hold that in. And then for the fingers, just regular bungee. Same thing on this side. They did use smaller magnets as well, but that's something that I can simply attach and add in and complete this as well. Even that is something that I want to mention as well. The slits that they have on the wrist make it a lot easier for you to slide in. I didn't record it, but basically what I did was just put some of the bungee that I used on the fingers in the arm just to hold that into place. And I used the same industrial strength velcro strap to hold everything into place. So this fits smoothly and comfortably. The only thing that I have to do is just at the top of the shoulder, just put some kind of like tape or something in there, so that way it sticks onto my shoulder and doesn't move from there. But other than that, this thing is something that like you can walk around with to an event and move around simply. You still have an extra arm. It's something that you can put on and take off by yourself, which is a big thing. So yeah, there's gonna definitely be more coming to this build, guys. Who knows, this might actually be my first full cosplay, guys. So definitely stay tuned for what's coming next. Besides that, definitely make sure you hit the subscribe and the like button. It's BZ Comics, guys. Peace.